Does it seem like everyone around you already knows what you know, and that you're in industry related groups and you're seeing the same marketing, the same post? You feel like everybody has the same knowledge that you have, and you're just talking to your peers about things that you already know, and you're getting the same spammy messages. So in coaching, this is a lot of appointment setters. If you're a tarot reader, you get those cold messages about readings, and it's like you're getting the spam of your industry because you're in those industry groups talking with other experts about the same things, and then people are in there like trying to market you this stuff that you already know. And sometimes it can feel like everybody knows more than me because they already know all of the stuff that I'm teaching. And I made this mistake early on. I started networking with different people. I'm like, well, I don't want to network with other coaches because, they're also coaches, so wouldn't that be competition? And then I was like, well, they're the only ones who understand what coaching is, so I'm going to network with them. And I had some really kind of interesting realizations from that. The first is that there are a lot of different ways that people define the word coach, so I don't even like to use that term anymore. And the second thing I realized is that too much time in some of those communities was actually not that useful, because after a while I was just seeing the same kinds of posts from the same people and the same kinds of groups and the same kinds of trainings, and I really felt like there wasn't anything new and I already knew it all. But see, the thing is, if I go outside of those groups and communities, it's all new to people. It's an all new audience, and they don't understand how any of that stuff works. So all of the stuff that's in those same free trainings in those same 100 other groups, I realized, oh my gosh, there's people who I've never seen at one time, let alone 100 times, because they're not in those industry groups. And then when I got a little more specialized with my niche and moved over to networking, I started seeing networking coaches in my feed, and I'm like, okay, so all of a sudden I see all this stuff, but then I'm also realizing, hey, most of the people in my audience aren't seeing all of this. And I have this knowledge that everybody doesn't already know, and if I'm assuming they already know it, it's because I'm assuming that I haven't diversified my network enough. But I had a conversation today on somebody's wall, and I'm like, he doesn't know all of the stuff I know because he's not in all of the same groups that I'm in, doing the same things that I'm doing. And I'm like, that's where your expertise stands out. It's not that you suddenly got smarter. It's not that you suddenly learned more. It's not that you suddenly know a bunch of stuff and you're so amazing and knowledgeable. It's just, instead of hanging around with those experts all the time who know all of the stuff you know, you joined completely different groups and audiences, and you're like, oh, everybody doesn't know the stuff that I already know. So networking is the fastest way to fix the issue of everyone already knows what I know. Not just networking, but networking outside of those expert circles, which can be really tempting to just want to network in those expert circles and just kind of deep dive into whatever you're into and just sit in a place of everybody knows more than me. But the fact is everybody doesn't know more than you. You're just in those groups where you're like looking for that knowledge, so you're in those groups where it seems like everybody knows more than you, but they really don't. So get out of those groups, join some different ones, meet people with different backgrounds, different interests, complementary interests, things that you actually aren't interested in, but you want to know more about, and keep networking.